Good morning from the fish room. Welcome to Friday Fish Facts. I'm your host, Ron DeSantis. Lights are all off because it's the morning. We've been doing some growing here in the fish room. We've added tanks to both sides. Not necessarily because we're buying more new fish, but because we are breeding a lot of fish and we need places for these fish to go. Now, one of the fish that we've just started breeding is our albino Corydoras. And when we just kind of started breeding them, I was using this breeder box, like right here, just kind of like one that you would use for guppies. Now, I'm not having a very high success rate, only a few are hatching out of here, and so I need to change it up and try something else. So what we're going to try is the MARINA breeding box. This breeding box here goes on the outside of the tank. So let's unbox this breeding box here and we'll show you how it works. Tape, instructions, and let's get into the product. Here we go. Here we got our pipes for the outside. And here's our hang-on breeder box. That goes on the outside of the tank. And then the water pumps in here and then pumps back out. We're not going to need these dividers. We open this thing here. The clips on the side. We can take off. Open it up like that. I've got a pump already and I've got airline already. This airline is going to be too short. There's all of our pieces. Let's get this thing assembled and we'll show you how it works. Okay, so what you want to do before you start assembling this is you want to rinse everything. Just make sure you don't use soap. But for the sake of not getting water everywhere, we're just going to start showing you how to put it together. So these are the leveling feet, just like you would have a hang-on back filter. They go on the bottom like that. Clip on like that. Then you've got the intake. That O-ring right there, make sure that's attached. It should come on there like that, but if it's loose, make sure you put it on. It says intake extension. Put it on like that. This is your strainer. Cap. Now there are instructions that do come with this, so it'll tell you what to do if you're wondering. You take the piece of hose that they gave you, goes on like that, one end. And then your air valve next. Air valve. See how the air valve isn't on center? Can you see that? So the part with more meat on it goes into the existing hose. Just like that. First of all, this room isn't the greatest for filming because there's glare reflections all over the place and the light's not that good. So I had to take this apart anyway to rinse it. And you're gonna have to have it in two pieces once you assemble it to the box. Take the intake here. It just fits into a slot right like that. Just like that. And then you're gonna feed this this. I'm going to have to put it down. Use two hands. And it goes back on like that. Just my line like this. All right, we'll give the box a rinse Then we'll put it on here. We'll hook up our airline that we have and our pump, and we'll show you how that works. Okay, airline goes in just like that. I filled it up. I just scooped out water, put it in here. I've attached it to this pump. And by the way, like, these pumps, like, I bought 2 for $5. Can you film me?
You have to show me where they are.
There's some right there. I'll start.
Oh, okay. I just have to go horizontal, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, hold on.
Okay, so so when you take these off, by the way, you just gotta roll them. Don't squish them, put them in your breeding box. Now the reason I'm doing this instead of using the in the tank, I want to try and do it without using any chemical. Methanol blue, I believe it's called. So what that does, why they get the fungus is from the light. So the methanol blue coats the eggs from getting fungus. So what I want to try doing is having this on the outside with no light. I might even cover this to avoid fungus. I've got water constantly moving on them. And I've got the temperature of the tank as the exact same water, everything, because that water from the tank is pumping out and in through, just like that. Well, we've got some more eggs to collect, and then once these guys start hatching in a couple days, I'm gonna put some Java moss in there and they'll start eating the microfilm, and then I'm gonna use the tetra-colored granulate, that tip from Lucas Brett's that he uses. Grind that up, put it in there, and then we'll switch over to our baby brine shrimp. Join me next week for another edition of Friday Fish Facts. It's 3 days later, and I count 15 in there right now, and a cherry shrimp running by.